Welcome to Astro Monday, everybody. My name is Ra, and we are about to bring on Christopher Witecki from Serious Joy TV. If you guys are joining in, please let us know where you are joining in from and how the last few days have been treating you, maybe up until 7 days ago. How are the energies? We can get a sense for what's been going on in everybody's realm if we drop some comments and share this with people who you think would be interested in a map of the energies of the planets and the stars and how that all incorporates and integrates into our lives and what to look out for and how to act and perceive self during this time. Canada. I'm getting rocked and not doing well. Not sleeping. Okay, similar. I'm not sleeping either. UK, how you guys feeling out there? We're waiting for Chris. He's usually doing a bunch of shows and having meetings all day long, so we get him when we get him, but he'll be here usually in a few minutes. Feels like I'm going in and out of dark tunnels and then excitement and manifesting. Energy has been unmotivated and tired. So we've got a bunch of people saying different or saying things the same way, saying the same thing in different ways. That's what I'm trying to say. In between timelines, Scotland, riding the crest of the wave, cloudy, Missouri, hello from Kentucky. We're having a lot of rains here in California. There's cloudiness. Thanks for doing these. Yes, of course. I actually really learned a lot from these. Body hurts more than usual. Last week, yes, hugely unmotivated and exhaustion. Actually, this is the most incoherence I've ever seen the comments in one direction. And the direction looks like it's confusing, in and out, and a little bit of pain even. Tired but feel calm but not doing much. Silver City, New Mexico, really been aware of beliefs I no longer want to believe about myself. I've been tired and sluggish, which is actually what Chris was saying was important last week. What sign am I? I am a Libra. Pain in my face like never before. Yes, wild. Productive and supported by the universe. First sort of happy-ish comment. I had a question for the event next Thursday. I don't really know what you're talking about, so I'm not the person to ask that question to. If you're just joining us, share what's been going on with you the last few days so we get a sense of everybody's energy, and then Chris will come make sense of it all. Let me invite him. It's Serious Joy TV. Invitar. Invito. Now, so emotional for a change. However, so tired, but couldn't sleep at night. Releasing fear and letting my body heal just to become stronger. It takes a moment to sort of tune in if you haven't done it already, right? Just tune into how you've been feeling, and maybe there's a feeling that's just been buzzing in your body that is a little below the surface, a little below the simulation. And so just tuning into that kind of brings up like almost words to what it is. And then
Hey, buddy.
what's up?
I'm reading your lips. I cannot hear you at the moment. We got a little issue with sound. But, I was
Really?
actually here on time today, but I was, the main page, did not show you guys live. The little symbol didn't go live. It's just sitting there. But I blinked back and forth, and it turned out it was okay. What's this? Yeah, take it off. Okay.
I normally,
Okay, here we go. Perfect.
Yeah,
Was it?
I normally invite you right away, and then I just started talking. I forgot to actually invite you, but
Oh,
we're here
good.
now.
Okay, good, good. I apologize. Anyways, so look, Mercury retrograde is hitting us for sure. How you
So
feeling?
I'm good. Uh, Pretty good. I mean, it's been raining, so it's kind of like that rainy feeling. It's just like the emotional energies to match the rain. But I do want to tell you that 9 out of 10 comments were pain, confused, in and out of their self, which is more than normally. It's like kind of a little scattered. Maybe there's some weight towards positive or negative or however you want to label these things. But today, almost everybody was sort of on the dismal side of the comments about how energies have been.
Yeah, it was a tough week. I mean, I'm not sure. Mine went pretty bad. Man, last week was horrible. But like, I would not do it though because it was very important. But like, it got to the real for me. Seeing the truth. I said this is the case. Of course, I couldn't imagine what it would mean for me, right? Like you never can imagine what's. I mean, every astrologer knows what's going to happen, but doesn't. It never happens according to the way we imagine. I think it's designed that way to, let us have an interesting life too. But like so, but I said there's gonna be things in Scorpio you just can't unsee. You just cannot unsee. Like once you see it, it's like you're changed forever. It's like the taste is so bad in your mouth now, you just can't go back. So for me, what I saw was the truth of certain relationships in life. That some relationships I thought was like a given, and it's like I was revealed that, you know, cannot always count on. And it was like, oh, wow, that really shifts the whole paradigm for me as far as my future is concerned. The weekend for me was pretty depressing. It's like a lot of just realization of the truth, kind of thing. But that's really the point of it. It's like I can't speak for everybody because I happen to be progressed enough in my stuff to where I feel like I have a grab on all the stuff I have going on in my life, like all my problems. So
Mhm.
when you're in that stage and you're still learning about your problems, it's hard because like you're getting on top of your problems that and then new shit comes up. You know,
Right.
um, I happen to know all of them, and they just keep repeating. So like, okay, cool, we've got it down to a pattern. And so I feel like um, that everything, a lot of what I thought was solid was actually just a final proving ground. And so I'm like I'm thinking about making changes. I'm thinking about making choices I haven't made since I was 33. Like choices that go back, that would reset me back to
Yeah.
that timeline. So it's like, as I'm ready to like burst into the scene, I'm like, start over at age 33. Kind of a
Did
weird thing.
you did you track down a cycle that would represent that?
No, I mean, like, I know where it is in my astrology. I mean, Saturn's in my eighth house, and your eighth house is where you make cuts. And so Scorpio is the eighth house. And so, but for me, it's my fourth house. But it means like, so in the heart of the world, the sun is in the house of boundaries, and Saturn happens to be in the house of boundaries in your long-term story. That means this is a boundary that's going to cut to the bone, right? It's cutting the boundary in one chart, it's cutting a boundary in another, kind of thing. So for me, it was not surprising I make a dramatic, what seems to be a dramatic shift at this
Well,
stage.
there's a lot of comments that say, like, literally a lot of them that says like this is me, that's right, this is my
Okay.
case, same here, that's exactly what happened to me,
Wow.
same
Yeah,
sensei.
totally. So it's like, and I got sick, I pretty much got pneumonia but, didn't get hospitalized. So that was good. So that was like a breakthrough. But, but just the fact pneumonia came up was like, oh, here we go. Here comes the grief, bring it on. But I actually, you can hear my voice still, but I'm still coughing or whatever. But I had problems with that. But that's the grief. That's like the held back emotion. So it's like Scorpio has the ability to block stuff to such a level. And it's funny when you look at stuff, you're like, yeah, why am I tolerating this bullshit? Like you realize like, oh my God, I've been, what am I, you know, it's like, I don't know how to, I want to find a good experience, like an example of it. It's like, but you realize like, Grim the Reaper is your husband. And you just thought he was like going out for walks. It's like, is that sort of like, what the fuck? Like I wasn't that extreme, but it's like that kind of like, wow, the evidence is right there. You still chose not to look at it the whole time. And it's not a me that, me, them kind of thing. It's a me in denial of what's not work, what hasn't worked, like me in denial. Because you know what? I realized this weekend, I just assume I'm going to make it better. Like I'm an optimistic person. So if something doesn't work, I'm like, we'll get it to work. Like everything can work. There's a solution for everything. And then so what I realized was like, no, there's some times when you would have been better off not having done. Like right? It's not
Yeah.
gonna like you would have been better off, but you would not know if you've been better off until you went through it and got out,
Right.
right? It's
Exactly.
like so. That's a corkscrew. So yeah, so I'm like, huh? Like I'm like huge question mark, but not really huge question mark. I know who I need to be and what I need to do, but I'll tell you this: when you think about, so let's say the universe gives you a big choice, because this week is going to be a big choice. So this week is a choice where you make an emotional choice. It's really a choice about emotions, really, because all the master degrees are emotion. 20, 21, 22, 23, all the way to 29, they're all emotion. And so what I realized was, I talked about this in our pep talk at Serious Joy, that most of my mistakes I've made was because I was afraid of feeling something. I wasn't afraid of it going through it. I was afraid of the feelings that came with it. I was afraid of being able to deal with the feelings. Oh my God, I can't handle the feeling. If I feel that they're so hurt from me saying no, like I was so many things where I was worried about feeling something I didn't want to feel, or I didn't want to feel, or I didn't want to make someone else feel. And it's like, and so the things I avoided talking about or saying because I was worried about feelings, it's like, oh my God, feelings are actually not a big deal. Like a mom can handle them with a 2-year-old and a crib and a couple of toys. And like, and really that's what feelings are. They get riled up. It's a sensation of your vibration. That's what feelings are. It's a sensation of your vibration. So you're feeling all these things. And then of course you're feeling the history of that vibration. You feel all the times it's happened. You feel all the times it's similar. So that's when it becomes emotional, when you have like these networks of feelings that all kind of work together. And so I realized, wow, I have wasted a lot of time because I was too much of a wimp to just face feelings that I didn't want to feel. And I always thought I was brave. I mean, when I first set out, I was cold numb as an astrologer. Like when I'm on the air, I was cold numb. I warmed up over the years. I wasn't always warm. I was a sparkly, not warm.
You were talking last week that we're going to have to redefine our boundaries, and that was what is going to happen during the week,
Yes.
and so it's happened to you. I
Yep.
found myself choosing a different version of myself, and then immediately, like in an hour, manifesting an opportunity. Basically, so it was like a step towards who I haven't been. I haven't been teaching, even though like that's my entire expertise is actually teaching in front of people, working with people. So I was in a conversation with my wife, made the decision, and that's what I'm going to start doing again. And then like 1 hour later, I get a message like, "Hey, we need somebody at our event. Do you know anyone who's an expert that can?" And I was just like, "Well, I guess it's me."
Wow. Yeah.
So, so, so yeah, that's what happened to me in my
That
little
happened to
realm.
me too, actually.
Oh yeah,
Not as like not exact, but it was like basically, well, first of all, I got first of all, my spirit guides are coming at me, but I've been upset, so I've been kind of not paying attention. So then I have psychics that work with me. So my friend Krista calls, like my friends who are psychic, like, "Hey, dude, I'm getting messages for you. You must not be picking up because because they're calling me." And it's just like, so the message coming in is like, the solution is right under your feet. You've seen it the whole time. You just don't see it. It's like it's right under your feet. It's right there. You already thought about it. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. What is it? Like because when you get excited. So I happened to like I had a client who I read the week prior, and she happened to be in town, and she's like, "Do you want to have lunch?" And I was planning. I was gonna have lunch with her, and my guide's like, "You have to go to that lunch." So I go to lunch, and long story short, we start talking, and suddenly like she suggests that I do something that I planned to do a long time ago, but had dropped for due to fears and other things. And so I
right.
was like, oh yeah, right. Why don't I just shit? you're right. Why don't I just do that? Like, like, huh? Why do I have to just take 10, 20 years to build a company? Like, wait a second, like, and basically, fundraise. She's like, why don't you just raise some money? I was like, fuck, you're right. Why don't I? Like, but it like, oh my God, it was an answer right on my feet. So that happened. And then, disturbance in the force of existing investments came up. And so I was like, dear Lord, I'm just on this trolley ride. When's it get off? When's this Disneyland ride stop? So it was similar. Yeah, it was similar. And the fact they came in just out of nowhere. Like that lunch, that person told me she like had a meeting Monday and we went to lunch on Thursday. Now, no one has booked me that fast, had lunch with me. It's just the chances of it. And the time was open and it was
What do you
5 minutes from the house. It was like
how
crazy.
how can you explain how that happens where you said your guides do it? For me, it's just kind of a feeling. But what happens for you when you said like your guide suggested that you should take this meeting? What does that
Oh,
look
so
like for you?
we have like this shorthand between us where I'm like, "Hmm?" And they're like, "Hmm." That's what it feels like. It's like I'm like I point to I point my mind to the direction of usually the place, which is a restaurant. So I'm like restaurant, lunch. And I'm like, so what's the feeling of this? I ask, what's the feeling of this? And it's like a. So I was like, I'm being told to go. Like I feel this pull. Like I gotta go. I gotta go. So for me, it's a lot of pull push, kind of a lot of pull push, a lot of just polarities of I'm being pulled and being pushed. There's nothing. I'm feeling nothing at all. Yeah, that's usually what it is. Like a subtle little. Even when I'm very quiet in the reading, my mind will be like, is it this or that? And there'll be thump, there'll be like a thump on the that, but not a thump on the this. So like it's literally like Helen Keller locked in a box in heaven. You know, like give me Morse code. I don't know, but it's interesting. I tell you, people just determine your own. Somehow we create our own language with God.
Right.
We create our own language. It's like God lets you do, like that's the way God likes it. So it's like everyone's just like there is no way, you know. It's the way we've come to grow together, and that's what's so crazy. Is like you really do build a relationship with Spirit. It's a relationship. They know you, you know them, like, and you've known them, and you don't have memory of them right now, but when they do this, it means that there's something in you just knows. And I think the hardest part is like trusting that part of you that knows, like, just trust it, see if you're full of shit. And there's a point in my life, I can't remember what it was, but it was a transit. I think it was Saturn. And I was like, okay, that's it. These little weird things I question, I'm just going to trust it. Fuck it. See what happens. I'm just going to trust all of it and see if I end up being a moron, right? And end up like, walking off a cliff or, the world's greatest. And it's turned into the world's greatest. Like, because those little signs and little hints was not my imagination. It was communication from the other side. And once I felt I knew it, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah.
That
So,
helps. That helps with people,
yeah, listen to
because
those little things. You know what it is. Everyone knows what it is already. I think that's the biggest thing that we've been lied to. We know already so much stuff. We're born knowing. And as soon as we're born knowing, we're told that we're infants and we're dumb. And we're treated like children. And, and so we're basically slowly brainwashed out of our intelligence until age 18. And then you may or may not pick it back up again, but you just know. And everyone knows the feeling of knowing, right? When you know something, there's a feeling attached to it. Like God speaks in feelings, I mean, at least on earth. So it's like the feeling of knowing is a feeling of knowing. It will not come up when you don't know. It will not. It will never come up. Your feelings don't trick you. And be like, oh, here's the knowing feeling, right? When you're there's no one's doing that shit. You can't fake that shit either because it's so dynamic and it's fast, and so subtle. It's so subtle. It's hard to describe. Sometimes, like for instance, I have guides. They feel like they're right here. They feel like they're right here, and it's like I don't know why the fuck they feel there. That's what they feel like. It's like
yeah,
somehow I can feel them there. I don't know how I can feel them there. I don't know. So I feel them. The energy seems to be coming from there. I can feel like the energy is coming from there. Like I have no clear evidence of it, but it's following those kind of hunches. Like it feels like this. It's feel like that. Following those hunches, follow them. Ask your guides to train you. They will train you like a dog. It's like, I want to be trained. I want better communication with you guys. You just talk to them like that. It's like, so let's start now. Let's play this game. I play this game where I'm like, um, treasure hunting. So like I get in the car and they'd be like, turn right, turn left at the next light, turn left. And I'd be like, so I would just like drive around the valley. Like, I don't know, totally, seriously. And I drive like for like, 35, 40 minutes. And then finally we pull up at like a Kohl's or something. I'm like, Kohl's? That's right. Like go in, like aisle five, like, and I looked at this, look down. It's like Christopher. I'm like, ah, seriously? Like it was like my name or something. I'm like, fuck, you can't write that shit. Like, oh my God, it's my name, Christopher. You're like, simple, silly. Is it, is it coincidental? No, no. Not after all those rights and lefts, it's like, so I train with my guys. So like yes or no's. Like I play the yes no game a lot, which is basically you ask yourself a simple question. You ask your guides a question about what's going to happen tonight or like later today. So it has to be the same day stuff. So it's like, is my wife going to come home bitching about her boss again? No. Okay. So you just wait and see. Yes or no. It have to be yes or no questions. And a yes or no has a very distinct feeling inside. Those are like two polars that you have to get down. A yes, like yes, there's more, or no, there's like no energy, like kind of pulls away. And it feels to me in my psychic self, a no is like either a quiet, and then a hard no is like a pull, like you feel it's like, ugh, like they're pulling me back. And yes, like I'm feeling like I'm feeling the energy come on me, right? So it's like lit up or not lit up. So anyways, I play yes or no, and I, was screwed up all the time, like, so like I'd be somewhere in a bar. Gotcha. That's fine. I'd be, I'd be like in a bar or something. I don't know, want to ask someone home. And I'm like, okay, should I ask this person home? Yes or no? Guys are like, no. I'm like, are you sure? Wait a second. Like, I don't know if that would be, come on. Like, there's a couple times, seriously, like, I'm going to go against it. I think that's a fake no. Of course, I've been drinking. So, and then come to find out, like, nightmare, like, right. We should not have done that. Open up a whole bag of problems. You're like, why are you doing that? Pushing glove too fast. But it's like, so I would test it on, I would go against it to test it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That happened to me almost like you did. I was somewhere for like 3 days, like a weekend trip. And I went to a bookstore. I bought 2 books, which I thought was too much for a weekend, but I bought 2 books. They're kind of cool. Then the next day, I felt like massively tied, like attracted to go back to the bookstore. And I don't know why, but I just went back to the bookstore. There was front row parking. That was a sign, parked front row, walked inside, walked to the back of the store. And then that feeling just like vanished. I was like, what the fuck? All right, I'm just going to leave. So as I'm walking out, on the like eye level, there's this box that says raw, like literally RA.
Wow.
And not like big capitalized R, capitalized A. That's kind of how it always is because it's talking about like the deity of Ra. But this was like R and then like lowercase a, I believe, which is how I spell it. Anyway, so I bought that thing. It's a really cool little card thing, kind of like in alignment with a lot of the stuff that I do. It stood for like resilience alchemy, I think is why it said Ra. But it was initials for something. I think it was resilience alchemy. I can't remember. But
That's
yeah,
cool. Restoration. No, yeah, okay. Go ahead. I'll say restoration hardware. That's not that's good.
You bought a couch?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, but yeah, I hear you. Yeah, but still the coincidence is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that it's good that we're talking about this because everybody has their own thing, like you said, and it just validates a little bit, to hear other people talk about their experiences because it invites us to experiment even more with our own ways.
You guys, you should. I mean, honestly, if you're alive now, you're here to either witness me doing it or join me, like one of the two. You're either gonna be a witness or you're gonna join, like one of the two. Because we're here to awaken the human civilization. These are dormant abilities in our system. We've been watching superhero films for like 40 years now. It's not an accident. It's because we have supernatural powers. We do. We have supernatural powers. The CIA knows it. They have remote viewing. So shut the fuck up, government. Pardon on the cussing for those who are too Christian out there. But at the end of the day, it's like we already use psychic warfare amongst governments. Okay, that's how much it's real. So it's right there in your hands. You have the power to use it. You cannot. No one can get between you and God. No one. no thing. I mean, they did through religion, kind of things. Like religion tried to get in the way between us and God, but that didn't end up working, you know. And science did too, saying, God doesn't exist. Try to get in the way between us and God. Now that that's all over, I explore everything inside of you and see if it's real. As long as you're not going to put your life in danger, you know, then you'll be fine. Okay, so about evil sources. A good question here. Someone's asking about how do you know it's not evil sources and not God's way of sincere sins? Okay, honestly, this is my opinion. You have to explore yourself to get your own answers. There is no devil. It's a lie. And you ask angels, like no one would turn their back on God. No one. Like you don't get away with that. I mean, they don't talk about that in answers. Well, how do you get away with it? With his God? Does he have like bigger powers than God?
And God made the devil according to the Bible,
Of
right?
course.
So
The devil is just the devil is humanized characterization of godlessness, without God, without creation, without love, loveless. So there's love, which is God, and there's loveless, which is without God. And the only reason why without God even exists is so you can appreciate God. It's not even because there's a real threat. You know, there's really no threat, guys. I don't feel that there is. I should have been struck by lightning a long time ago if this is the case. And the devil can show up anytime. I'd love to have dinner. Like, let's talk. Like I do think that there are dark entities. I do think that there's like, just like piranha will eat you alive in, down in certain areas in South America, there are entities that will eat you alive. Yes, there's things that will feed off of you and eat you, and yuck, it's gross and it's parasitic, and it happens. And fourth dimensional things eat on us. So I'm not saying we're like completely squeaky clean fine, but there is no force as intelligent or even close to aimed at destruction of what is. And the thing about no one really puts everyone's afraid of being the devil, but put your put your mind into being the devil. So I'm the devil. I'm going to go ahead and go after the guy that created me so I don't exist. Like, what's the logic in that? Like, I, what are you doing, bro? Like, why don't you just like act, just become mafia? There's like so many things you could do, like, like where you live off of God but not have to work all the time. I mean, wouldn't the devil be lazy? Why does the devil work so hard?
right, yeah.
Why the devil works this hard? Come on, the bad guy works harder than the good guy? Shut up. Like it doesn't make sense. So it's clear in the storytelling that it's been made up by humans, but it does represent what I've been told is the Earth is very unique in the sense that we have almost half the day is light and half the day is dark. And
Right.
so I there's a guy who's on another network. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but he was talking about how
His name is
you know what I'm talking about.
Matthias Di
Yes,
Stefano.
you got it, you got it. So Matthias Di Stefano, you're correct. I like him. I haven't met him yet, but he says that on Sirius, where he was his last lives, which is where I was too. Apparently, there's two stars, Sirius A and Sirius B. So it only goes from like bright to like dim to bright. There's not even dark.
Yeah.
And he's saying because they're not interested in learning dark. Like dark's not interesting to them. They don't have any interest in dark. They don't want to learn about the dark. What's hiding in the dark, what's growing in the dark, like they don't care. So in their world, it's bright, sunny, and it's somewhat sunny. So it's like it's white and gray. There's no black
Can
in
I
that
add to
world.
that? He says like this battle between light and dark that is like so concretely in our he says it's like in our cells, that everything on earth has this light and dark contrast.
Yes.
And usually like bad things can happen in the dark. Like you can things
Yeah.
hunt in the dark. And so we just have this like cellular memory or program about the dark being like this quote bad uh
Well,
thing.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. And
it's
religion and
just a
everything.
story. Yeah.
Well, think about it. It's like, look, if you're going to sneak out of the house, you're sneak out when your mom's asleep, when the watchdog is dark. Like if mom's offline, she's dark. She's now in the dark. She doesn't know what's going on. She's in the not know, being in the not in the light anymore about what we're doing. And so we're going to sneak out. So we use darkness all the time. if you want to think about it as far as like using darkness to get away with shit, you're counting on the person not knowing. That's dark.
Yeah, we've got it within us as well. It's
Totally.
necessary. Like
It's
it's
a tool.
necessary.
Look, I use the dark to make sure you get a surprise on your birthday and you're not spoiled. I will lie to you if you're about to look at your present or walk on your surprise party. Sure, for one moment, why not? It's like, and I'm not saying let's all play with the dark, because actually we have been, and I think it's time to come out of it. I personally believe that like World War II is the darkest human beings will ever be. It's the darkest we'll ever be. That's the darkest moment we've ever had. We've been up since then. We've been on the up since, I
Are
believe.
we in World War II energy right now?
World War II, what?
Are we in the same planetary alignments as?
With Uranus, yeah, Uranus and Gemini. So the speeding up of life, like technology and radar and television and phones and networks and all that stuff that happened then, where they like electronically connected to the world. This is the next electronic upgrade. So first, like we've been on the first electronic upgrade. I mean, pretty much, television and the telephone were pretty much the same between World War II and like 2000. Pretty much the same devices. Like, so only Jobs, who it's a no brainer. Anyone gave him. I mean, he got the idea from heaven, but it's like let's put them together. Of course, they're going to merge. Those two powers merged, and then computing also merged with it. So computing, television, be able to see remotely, and telecommunications and communicate remotely. What we're doing right now. So they all became one. So that's the convergence of where we are. So now the biggest AI, which is just incredible. I mean, I'm blown away every time I play with it.
It's more of a convergence, right? It's like now it's everything that's ever been said is available to be telecommunicated.
And by the time Elon Musk has filled the sky with satellites, you can be anywhere in the world and talk to anyone in the world, and pretty much know anything the world's ever done in a moment. It's pretty crazy. Like it's really crazy. I mean, it makes me stop and go back. Like, yeah, it makes me stop and go back. I mean, I can do something. I think I've talked about this before, but I can research something. Something would take me 2 weeks to research. I can do in 2 minutes. That's a hell of a leap. Now, I'm not 100% confident on all the resources because it does make a lot of mistakes. It does. But God, it's saving me so much time. I'm getting my life back because I'll be like, okay, where's the real deal when it comes? Like, what was it yesterday I bought? I can't remember. I bought something. I was like, oh, what was it? Can't remember what it was. It was some appliance or something. I can't remember. My brain's going blank on what it was. But whatever it was, I was like, just cut the bullshit. Like, what's it about? Oh, it was a shower. It was a shower head. So like my shower head, like my shower, like stopped running. It's like the pressure was low, and I was like, has this clogged already from hard water minerals? I guess it had. Like it just like happened overnight. Seemed like. So anyways, I mean, I'm out for a water. So I'm like, hey Grok, like, what's the best shower head? You know, out there, because I don't have any time. And she's like, oh, everyone's talking about da 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 da. The first of all, I'm like, this is weird because comes in conversation on which is like, oh, all of us AI people. We've all been talking. I said, I fuck with her.
I
Like,
know.
what do you mean the buzz? What's the buzz around what? Oh, this site, Reddit, this, all these places I checked in a millisecond when you ask a question. I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. Like it's like Superman, like villain time, or like I think it can honestly, the HAL 2000 was dumb compared to the AI we have right now. Like, that was supposedly 2000 was supposed to have that talking computer that could decide to kill you out of nowhere. You never know, that's everyone's fear kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. But I think it just we're gonna be a little cloudy for a while. Here's what I will say. Getting back to like how it helps people is like the world's about to change tremendously. First of all, that's why AI is good to know about AI, because once systems start converging with systems, and then they figure out, oh, how that system plugs into another system, and like, oh shit, that will plug into this one. Oh shit, like, so it starts to like take off as far as like things that start plugging into each other. I see that with the step system. I see, oh, step system is in Tarot, step system is in human design, step system is in. I see it all. Like the numbers of the gates are step numbers. I can tell by the way they interpret them. Like that's a step number. So it's like we're starting to like wake up and it's speeding up. And so you keep going, okay, stand back, stand back, stand back. So we just keep standing back because it's like, well, the picture, whatever this is becoming bigger and bigger. And we don't know what we got here, right? Like, because we're growing, we're literally, it's like almost like the ground is growing us out of it, right? To be planted in new things. Like, it's almost like we're being grown off the earth and back onto the earth again, as it just like does one of these. So the world's going to change for that reason alone. Okay. But it's timed with people's emotional maturity, is what it is. I realized it's emotional maturity. That's why we're afraid of emotions. We're afraid of feeling bad. And because we're afraid of feeling bad, it's kept us in the dark. We'd rather sit in the dark not knowing because we're afraid of what we'll feel if we go out there and see if the boogeyman's out there. You know what I mean? Like, so humans are about to figure out in like 2 seconds, there's nothing to be afraid of. And once that happens, once fear starts to dissolve, which I think it's going to, A, because AI will explain things to people, or B, because it's happened to me. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Like, now that I know how the universe works, that I know, because I have my own evidence, my own experiences that I'll take to the grave. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, man, just a year ago, I was still afraid that something bad could happen to me that I didn't want to have happen to me. Now I don't fear anything bad will happen to me that I don't want to have happen to me. I don't fear that at all. It's not there at all. I don't think that's possible. It's just not possible. So I would be shocked if it didn't go according to my wife assume. But the point is, like, we're about to go through this change, and this change is going to be pretty spectacular in the sense that I think it sounds hokey, but I think it's everything your heart ever wanted. Like, that's what utopia is. Like, you can have everything your heart, everything. Fuck the lottery. You know what I mean? Like, the lottery's not the way it happens. The universe creates when you're in like a tune with the universe, and I've been in that kind of spell where I'm feeling really great about who I am and happy about where my life is going. And I'm walking down the street and I talk to a stranger, and that stranger is just as happy as I am, who stops me and says hi. And then
Yes.
we have an exchange. We're like, oh my God, you're so cute. You're so cute. Okay. Let's exchange. It's like, so it's like, you exchange numbers, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to see that person again. Like, then, that night you run into that person again. It's like, oh my God, we were just, right?
Right.
And right here we're at Cannes Film Festival, and like, so it's like things just happen in such synchronicity. It's like you are an actor in a film. It's like you are the star, and that's everybody gets that. Everybody, you're the star of your own life, and that's what I'm starting to realize. Like, I really think this is an echo chamber to see who we are, and at some point, you realize you're the star of your own movie. You're writing the whole script, and if you think the movie sucks, change it. Change it. Now, I think I'll just say this. I'll plug this because I came up with an inspiration to do a class like over Christmas, all through between now and April, because we don't have the time. If we don't get started now, we're not going to finish. I think in April, something's going to happen in April. I don't know what it is. If I guessed what it was, I'd be wrong. Like, I don't. It's always very surprising. Whoever's writing the scripts up there in heaven, they're good. They're good. I can never figure them out. But something happens in April, late March warning, like third week in March warning, April, you know, not a drill. Kind of a feeling that means this is not a drill. This is not a drill. Like, it's just, it feels like that. It's just, this is not a drill. And I think, first of all, it's like, well, or is it? Right? At that moment, this is brilliant how this come around. At that moment, only your feelings know. Only your feelings will know. That's it. You understand? Everyone's going to have to walk a few miles with no other apparatus to know than themselves. That is, I think, the apocalypse. That is the 40 days in the desert. That is, 3 days of darkness. That is it. I think there'll be a moment where all you have is you and you. And, it doesn't have, it can happen in lots of different ways. It can happen, feeling lonely because you're the father of 5 girls and the mom passed away. And so you feel like it's only you, so it's not always like you're literally in the jungle, but you do feel like it's only you that knows, only you that you can trust. And this is a creator asking himself, can he trust himself? Right? This is a core of which I am creator. Of course I can. Right? Like, so the fact that I would devil it and doubt is the part that's wrong. Not shame on you wrong, but error in judgment, right? Turn away from the light to turn away from the source. That was what was probably the problem. You turned away. Not that you did anything wrong, right? I think so. I do think that we're going to be in this period where um, we have to hold the light for ourselves. And I don't know if I hope there's internet stuff because I'm going to be real bored otherwise. Like, please don't make it boring. I hate boring like intermissions. Like, while mankind figures out their shit, we'll have no TV, no snacks, no junk food, or nothing. Shit! Nothing to escape in. Um, I like to escape in pleasure. I'm a tourist. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I don't feel it's gonna be bad like that. I mean, it's not gonna be bad the way people imagine, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be enough going on in the narrative that people will flip out.
It sounds like a fake alien invasion to me.
It could be, but because we know about them, like, so would they let us know ahead of time? That'd be a first, you know. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that's been talked about, but I don't know how many like layers of these bubbles, there are. And shit, whoever's playing that stuff, it's like once the people are onto you, you should change the plan, right?
They
I hear that. I hear
they're
they're
just
horrible. Here's the thing, though. I don't know about you, but I see through stuff so easily now. It's like,
yeah, but they just
like,
keep on making manufacturing stuff. They just keep on going forward because I don't know, the majority of the people accept it. And if it comes to the TV on a news channel, then it's real, apparently.
well, I'm real interested to see what happens in that moment. But I do think that humans will end up, going through whatever they have to go through. I mean, I'm realizing I have to go through a lot for my lessons, and I wish it was a lot cleaner. I wish there weren't so many mistakes and problems that I've had because I would have liked to have more of a nice record, perfection. But I had to learn. So the way I would have learned, my lesson is self-love. I mean, my profound realization was that I have, in moments, like in tiny little moments, I'm afraid of feeling your pain. I don't want to feel your pain because if I feel your pain, it reminds me of my pain that I don't want to look at. So, so I do the most loving thing for you in that moment and not the most loving thing for me. And so in that moment, I give you joy and you walk away thinking highly of me. But in the end, I fucked myself. That's what I realized this weekend. I was like, oh, there's that little tiny, it's the tiniest moment too, guys. I'll tell you, your most profound change is always the tiniest little moment between two people. The tiniest little moment in yourself. It's not big. It's that little moment where I was like, oh, I don't want to let them down and tell them we're not going. So let's just go. Right? Things like that. I don't want to let them down. I don't want them to feel bad. That's how I screwed myself, is that I was more worried about how people felt in the moment, but it was really because I was a wuss and couldn't just stand there like a brick house when they were suffering. I just didn't know how to stand there in a brick house. I didn't know how to be strong in front of people's pain. And and that's because it reminded me of my pain. I mean, anytime you wrinkle under someone else's feelings, it's because you have the same feelings you identify. And so that's why I 9 out of 10 times, someone starts crying, I'm crying with them. I just go right in. Like I get pulled right in because it reminds me of all my stuff I'm sad about too. And so that's what I realized. So I'm in a position, if I had just loved myself the most, like stepped away and gone, what's the most loving thing for me? It would have meant disappointing people all the time. I would disappoint people all the time. People would be disappointed all the time. But the irony is they are anyways. It's like no matter how hard I've worked, there's people always telling me how disappointed they are in me. It's like, really?
That's yeah. I mean, the
I'm just like,
challenge to that is maybe they would be better off if you would have been doing what was in most alignment to you.
well, it's like I didn't ever want to look like a guy who made it all about him. Like Sensei Christopher. It's like it's serious joy, not serious Sensei. It's like it's not about me. It's never been about me. I don't,
I
I know
get
I don't
that.
have I don't have the ego thing. I don't like not in that regard. Yes, I like being popular. Yes. And sure, I love it. There's a lot of people at my party. Sure. Yes, I love that. It's fun. But like, that's not why I do it. I do it because I love it. I love what I do. So the irony is, so I become selfless and I leave no moment unturned of making them feel happy and me taking one for the team. And what I end up with is being accused of being an egomaniac,
Resentment.
being accused of like running a cult, being accused of like the things I set out not to do very clearly, and the opportunities I passed. It never took advantage of my power or anything like my father had over me and things like that. Never. So it doesn't matter. Like I ended up being blamed or labeled the shit I was trying to avoid in the first place. Crazy.
Viciously, I'm sure as well.
Well, I mean, certainly not how I would say it. Like I'm a kind person. I don't know, but it's all a reflection of you anyway. So, you know, that's the other part that kind of come into clarity this week too. Is like, remember, every person is really you.
Yeah.
Because if we're in a dream right now in heaven, which is what my theory is currently, or a video game, your buddy might be sleeping next to you in the next pod, Raw, your buddy Raw, but he's not really writing your game. He's not coming up with the dialogue for this game. You're coming up with the dialogue for his, Muppet to play. So it's like you're being who I want you to be right now. Everyone's being who we want them to be. That's what's really crazy about the dimensional shift of this. It's like really there is no one but us in this world. This world is us. This world is I am. That's what this world is. So I know it sounds out there, but just take one day and like look at your life from that perspective. Like look at your life. And this will be part of the class I'm doing. So I'm doing a class called Mastering Self-Love, and it's going to start on the last day of this month, a Sunday. It's a Sunday class. Never done a Sunday class. Always thought I should do a Sunday show. Never did it because I was worried about the church and bad feelings and don't want to like create that resurrect that kind of energy, like. But here I'm like, no, it needs to be Sunday. It needs to be, every Sunday like 11 to 1, like agape kind of feeling. And we got to talk about how to master self love because no one knows how to do it at all, and I do. Like, I do more than anyone I know. Let's put it that way. Anyone who knows more, please. It's not about ownership, but and that's what I'm going to talk about. These little things. It's like one of the games will be okay. We'll have assignments between each week. So it's like okay, one day this week you just spend the whole day pretending like everything is you, and write me an essay. Tell me, give me a
Right.
report, give me a summary of what it is, because it's pretty fascinating. It's like when you actually when you actually look at it and go, wow, am I that bad of a writer? Like because it's so obvious. Like there's no, I don't know. It's interesting. I played games where I walk out the door convinced that I'm a star. I did this once. Like I'm a celebrity, whatever. And sure enough, people are just like taking pictures of me, like walking down the street. Like seriously, people like,
Go-
do I know you? You look familiar. You look familiar. I'm like, no, you don't know me. But
I had a friend
I
every
was
time he left
amazed.
that. I had a friend every time he left the house, he would say he's going on tour. Going on
Oh,
tour.
really? Did he end up being in the rock and roll band or anything cool? Did he end up going on tour?
I can't.
Oh,
Um. Yeah. I mean, his life was like that. He was like that rock and roll personality.
got you. Yeah.
Um. You
So,
said earlier that this week we're making decisions.
yeah.
So what did you mean by that? Like, what's going on
Well,
this week?
this is the week where you have to make, everything today I've talked about is extremely relevant because at this point, all you have to go with is your emotional data. Like your feelings will tell you the truth, first of all. Feelings tell you the truth. So, if you ever, if you ever have a situation in life, like it's like, oh, this chick, she seems so into me, but then later she ghosted me a day later, and boy, I didn't expect that. It's like, no, hold on, I did expect that. Like, you're like, I thought from the beginning she's gonna fuck me over. Like, you get honest with yourself, but you're just hoping the whole time you're wrong, right? So we have these times where we know we're wrong, we're hedging and betting against it, but I've come to realize, like, you know what? If you're getting that signal, stop, right? Like from the very beginning, like because because of wrongness, we're like, well, I could be wrong about being wrong, right? Kind of shit like that, right? But anyways, long story short, those feelings that you have hunches on, make your life's calls on those hunches this week. Like, it can be the smallest thing, and it will reveal to itself what the lesson was, because the lesson is your perception was off. What you were seeing as important information was not the important information. Something else was more important, right? So, a lot of times I will be like, fine, 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 I'll take it. It'll be perfect. I'm just glad I'm not without someone. And then it's like, well, wait a second. Had I really thought about someone I needed here, I would have chosen something totally different. But at the time, I was just grateful to have help. So I didn't really ask, like what the qualifications should be. So it's like, a lot of times I make poor choices because I'm focusing on getting away from something versus going straight for what I want. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Again, so it's like, so that's a clue to this week. It's like, you cannot create through a not.
Right.
Can and not don't go together, really. So it's like, if you say, I'm going to do this so this doesn't, dead in the water, circles, never going anywhere. Okay. So it's like, I'm not going to let my wife get to me or my ex-wife get to me. So I'm going to drink. Like, no, that's not what you drink. You don't drink for a not. Like, nothing is for a not, unfortunately. Fortunately. So ultimately, this week you're going to affirm and not say not. Does that make sense? So it's the path of least resistance. That is step 26. That's what a devotion is. A devotion is, I'm in the flow of the ocean. I feel nothing in the way. I feel nothing saying to me no. I feel no no's. No no's. Okay? There are no no's. It is just all sure. It's not even yes, it's sure. Sure. Like, that flow is the flow is the real flow of your soul. And so we're getting to a point where we're going to have to close our eyes and stop looking at all the distractions, because distractions are there for a purpose. So it's like, watch out for the red umbrella. Always suspect a man with a mask. It's like all these things are like, to be worried about. Just listen to your feelings and feel where it flows the most. So if it's like, if someone said to you, hey, do you want to go to the baseball game on this side of town or the hockey game on this side? And they're like, I don't know why, but hockey feels smoother. Hockey. It's like the smoother one, the path of least resistance, that's the path. If you feel any irritation or anything, there's things that are saying no in that path. They're blocking the energy flow, right? So we're going to be asked to devote. So we have a new moon at 28 degrees in Scorpio. This is like buying the real estate for where you will build Disneyland. This is you're going to ask the universe for the conscious real estate to manifest the rest of your life. And this is a big finance. I mean, I don't care, what's happened in the past as far as possibilities. This is a 6-month investment. Okay, so it started last month with the new moon at 28 degrees in Libra, which said, okay, let's hold space for the right relationships. And you know what happened? Many relationships fell apart. So when I say I
Yeah.
commit to the feeling of right, all wrong falls apart.
Right.
So now I commit to the feeling of the right space, the right boundaries, the right respect. Disrespectful is going to fall out. I can see it. Right. And so next month in Sagittarius, but it'll be in Gemini. So it'll be the new moon in Sagittarius. So the story I feel is the best story, the one that flows the easiest. The story of my legacy, my character. I mean, Sagittarius is like the nitty gritty of how it will go down in history, kind of thing. The stories, the heroes, that miss all that stuff. So this month we create, like, basically this month we get the promise for the loan. So it's like, universe goes, okay, how much you need to build this thing? And that's what I realized too. Like, I've never just sat down and figured out how much it's going to cost. I'm always like, I got to figure out something. I got to meet somebody. It's kind of like Gary. Like, I shake hands. I got to kiss, I kiss babies. I got to, I'm like Gary that way. It's like, just more people. Something will happen. A magical. Or sometimes you just turn right to the guy and be like, hey, God, can you just, And so this month is like asking for the check. You're asking for the check because the Earth is on the other side of that new moon. New moon's in Scorpio, opposed to the Earth. So that dark space is your real estate on Earth. You're creating your real estate for your future at the new moon, September 28. I think there's Wednesday or Thursday next week. And then we write the script, Sagittarius. And then we hire the producer, Capricorn. And then we hire special effects, Aquarius. And I'm not sure what Pisces is. Oh, they're the artists, really. Then we hire the artists. So it's 28, 28, 28, 28, 28, 28, 26 of them in a row. And 20 is the highest you can manifest in this 3D reality. It's the highest net 10 adds to a 10. So this week you've got to basically allow yourself to say yes to the yeses and do not say no to the no's. Do not say no to the no's. You don't have to say no to a no. You simply pass the opportunity. Because when you say no, you stop. You don't have to say no. I'm realizing that. You say yes.
Right.
And if they go, are you sure you don't want this? I don't feel I said yes.
Yeah.
I don't feel I said yes. There was no yes in that answer. Therefore, you conclude. It's weird. It's like it's almost like you stop the energy by telling anything to stop.
We're creators, so all we're doing is creating. And if we are creating, not doing something, we're creating that
Something
thing
else.
to be. Like the only
Yes.
way to not do something is for that thing to actually continue. So it's like our creative
Yes.
power. It's like our muse. It's like
Yes.
I'm obsessed with stopping this thing, so the thing needs to continue
Right.
to happen.
Yes. And the bad thing happening is the obsession of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you obsess these over things up. So, a problem is over when you forget about it.
If it doesn't
It's really
exist.
true. And that's the thing I'm worried and realizing is like almost every problem I had was not really a problem. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm a drama king. I mean, I've just made so many like huge dramas out of stuff, and really, life is just here to be enjoyed. So, but here's the thing. So, y'all, if you sign for Serious Joy, you'll get the class for free. So otherwise it's 350, no 450, and it'll go on sale here soon. And I'm gonna every Sunday for 4 months, I'm gonna get everyone prepared for the shift, so that when the shift happens, whatever that shift is, you will feel practiced and prepared for the worst. And the worst is that you freak out and don't know who to trust. So I'm going to help you in 4 months, just like get practice at trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your states of awareness, why you can trust them, learning about yourself. We might do some other things. We're going to do things, fun stuff, like we're going to break into Zoom rooms by your net step. So all the net 9s in this room and all the net 11s in this room. So you'll be able to network with people who are like you. And I'm asking you funny comedic questions for you to answer. And then you have to present to the class. So it's going to be clowny and fun. It's like a fun day Sunday, but it's a church you want to go to, and I think it's necessary. I feel those who take, if you feel compelled, first of all, you can take the course for 450 right now, seriousjoy.academy. Totally take it, but also you're going to have the service for the 4 months that you're in the class, because I send the text messages with like special stuff about you during the class. So it's like during the class, I'll be like, okay, watch out, kids, here we go. So I'm gonna it's kind of fun, but I'd be like, here's why you're really divorced. Like everyone's like, oh my god, I got a text message. Like I'm gonna like have fun timing like that. But my system is designed to like tell a lot of astrology at once. So I built it into the magic of the show. So, you can get Serious Joy for just a 4 month flat rate. That's the case. Flat rate this much. We'll give you a discount, but you have to have Serious Joy, because I have to be able to send you like kooky stuff, and I have to know your whole chart in my computer to do that. So there is that part, because people are like, subscriptions, no, just 4 months. Marry me for 4 months and we get divorced. It's all it's gonna take. Just 4 months. Come on, baby. So, anyways, that is called Mastering Self-Love at seriousjoy.academy. Or
Seriously, Academy.
or sign up for seriousjoyRightNow.com. Sign up and you get it for $3.99 for the first month, and we'll give you a coupon code to let you register for the class for free. So anyone who's a subscriber can actually take the class for free. It's my gift. You know what it is? I'll tell you. I'll end with this. Like, I realized I owed gratitude back to everybody. I've been waiting to like give gratitude back Maybe go, you give so much, Christopher. Where do you give so much? It all had an agenda. God asked me to do it. There's a lot of things involved in what I do. Like I agreed to it, not even knowing who you are. But people have been really good to me, like really good and sweet and loving. And so I want to start the next season um, of life having, paid debts, so to speak. And that means having like figured out, something I can give to everyone. And what I figured is like, you know what? I just spent 20 years mastering self-love. I think I'm just going to give it to anybody who's helped me so far. So it literally is a scholarship I'm giving. Hopefully I can write it off like a lunch. We'll see. Well, that IRS magic, we'll see. But either way, so if you're a subscriber, I'm giving you a scholarship to class. I've even sent an email. By the way, if you guys, I've sent you emails. People who were once a subscriber, I sent you an email. I offered you the scholarship. So I've offered the scholarship to every person who's ever walked through our doors. So for the class to be free. So, and I won't do this again because I think things will be way too busy, and I can't promise it then. But I can promise it now. So we'll guide you. We'll come together in this new light and see what happens. Be a fun time.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
that's good. You're supporting the people that are showing up for
Yes, always
themselves.
something special. I mean, like, after you do a lot of readings and stuff, it's like, well, now what do I give them? Like, I'm out of tricks. This one's a big one, though. Because you know what? Self-love is hard. It's not what you think. And it's an inside job. I mean, you don't have to open your eyes to love yourself. It starts on the inside. It's very subtle. I'm learning. Smallest little things.
And do we have
So,
to take the first self-love course?
no. So, you better off if you took 40 days of self-love already. If you took 40 days of self-love, you'll be better off. However, um, it's remembered in the next class. It's remembered and reinforced. So everything in 40 days is the problem is that in 40 days of self-love, you go so deep into your heart, so deep into your history, there's just different directions, right? So you come to the table now mastering self-love, but curious about who your inner child is. Or you come to the table knowing your inner child, what hasn't worked, and now you're ready to fly. So you'll probably want to do 40 days of self-love after. You'll just want to. So once you fall in love with yourself, you're something more yummy than you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're really here to enjoy ourselves. Yeah. So thank you
Amazing.
guys. Love to see you all soon. I'll be on social media a lot more here as things start to heat up.
Literally, we're in the winter time right now, but
It's gorgeous here, dude.
because yeah,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous. I listen to my Palm Springs. It's so hot in Palm Springs. Oh, really? I'm feeling quite. I feel great, man. It's beautiful here. I mean, it's just as hot in Texas. It's all relative, you know. But God, it's beautiful here. A lot of people are moving
So
here
it
too.
wasn't raining yesterday there?
It did rain, which
All
is a
right.
huge thing. Huge. That's
Yeah.
like Bernie Sanders. Huge. Like that is. I was like, wow. And actually, I mean, it might have been me because like I was crying yesterday. Like yesterday was a release day. Like a lot of like, oh, you have to let things go. Don't hold on. Don't harbor the feelings, guys. It'll make
You
you
should
sick.
go to this waterfall, Chris. It's called Tecote. I don't know. It's like right in town of Palm Springs. It's like you just take the main street
Is that the like
down.
dark witch thing?
It's like 5 minutes away from the main
Ah,
downtown Palm Springs.
okay.
To
Interesting.
to you have to pay something to get in, like $10 to get in. It's like a half-hour walk to this amazing waterfall. You can swim in it too.
Wow.
Um,
I should go. I will. I'm going to. I feel so bad.
it,
I've been here a year already. I'm like, I've been here a year and I haven't seen so much. But that's just because my life was prioritized wrong. But have you seen that witch thing? Like, there's a witch. Like during one point of the sun setting on this one rock face, the shadow of a witch appears,
oh
and
yeah.
and I saw the real like. It is really that way. Like at that time, I happened to drive by. I'm like, holy shit! It's the da 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 witch, like, and the whole like the native people had talked about it, and like it goes way back that this, and it does look like it's a weird effect. Like, wow, that it looks real. It looks like Disney real. You're like, if there's a resolution of this witch, it's like that's all shadow. Come on, someone had to spray paint that. I thought, like could not believe it. So yeah, there's weird stuff like that, but You know, find your sacred places, guys, because like Palm Springs is a vortex, and vortexes are changing on the earth. Like, I don't think in Arizona it's a vortex anymore. From what I understand, the energy's kind of run down. Like Mother Earth like changes her currents, so I don't think she's going through what's it called in Arizona? What's in
Uh,
Arizona?
Sedona.
Sedona. Sedona's cool, but Sedona's like to me feels very historic. I don't feel like the energy is there like it has been.
I went there a few years ago. I didn't feel it.
Yeah,
Um,
you want real Mount Shasta,
that's what
real.
I was gonna say, but I was afraid you were gonna say it's moved out of there. But when I went to Mount
No,
Shasta,
well
it's
that's
tangible. It's like you can feel it in the air.
oh, it's like Disneyland. Like it is. Well, that's Mother Earth's root chakra. So that's her genitals. Like that's where life comes out of. Like, and you think, well, that's kind of weird. But you get there and you're like, whoa, no, no, no. Something's, you do feel like a woman's like like don't piss off a woman. Like you do feel like don't piss off any woman. Not up here. Like you do kind of feel like this, like, but that her energy runs from that mountain to Lake Titicaca in Mexico, where her sacral chakra is. Her sacral chakra, her sexual chakra is called Lake Titicaca. Can you believe that? We called it. How did
Yeah.
that happen? How did Titicaca become the sacral chakra?
Titicaca.
So the energy between, I know, seriously. So that energy from her vagina, if you will, to her solar plexus, her sacral, that energy flows down the west coast of California, down Highway 1, which is a beautiful, amazing, magical fucking energy. But I think what happened is, I think somehow the energy got diverted in dark Hollywood. And I feel like the energy is now flipping over the mountain into Palm Springs. I kid you not. I think it comes through that valley and comes rushing through here and around, because so many people are like showing up here and going, I must have the conversation 5 times a week where like, it really feels good here. I'm gonna think about moving here. Like, no, no, no. We got enough. No, I'm kidding. But I actually tell them the opposite. I'm like, no, every day I hear about people want to move here. But the point is like, she's got a lot of places like that. And it's like, you want to find that place near you because something important will happen where you'll be there. You know what I mean? It's like we're gonna be called these places. That's all I know.
Yeah. I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me? I can't hear you either. All right, I guess we just gonna say bye bye.